first ways I would try to study is by simply going over the PowerPoint slides that we get for each module topic. So let's say, for example, we're going to do contract law, and the topic there is just like, let's say, acceptance. So I'd go over my PowerPoint slides over the various different areas of acceptance and how it's done. So just go over all of the slides. One of the very first things I do, if there are case names mentioned and they don't have any briefings of the case within those PowerPoint slides, which happens a lot because sometimes they will mention numerous cases to give examples, but they wouldn't have the time or maybe like the space to have like just a brief description of those cases for each and every one. Like you may have, let's say, 15 cases mentioned in one like PowerPoint slide over one topic. Like your lecturer is not going to stop and put in the exact details of each and every one of those cases. So I'll start there. Usually when I make any kind of additions and notes in my PowerPoint slides, I do it using comments. So I would just like highlight a certain area of the slide, I'd right click it, and then I'll just add a comment so that it appears on the side of it and not within the PowerPoint document, just like a little side viewing. And that way when you have the comment as well and you highlight it, you know what that comment is about in particular. So that's what I do for cases usually. So that's one good way of trying to familiarize yourself with essential cases and essential cases that you may need later on for assignments and in your exams, just by going over all of them that have been mentioned and just giving like brief descriptions over it. So another good way to study is, and you may not like this answer and you may be quite well aware of this answer, is to do further reading. Yeah, so honestly, do some further reading. It's impossible for you to do all of it. Sometimes lecturers would give you an exact amount of further reading to do because it is a suggestion. First of all, you can pick and choose to see what best suits you and what you can actually digest, what readings that actually seem to make any sense to you, what readings that probably not too difficult of a language. So just pick and sort through the further reading. See if you can find something that just helps you. Especially do further reading for any topics that you find quite difficult and you find it's very hard for you to really understand what's going on. And also, do you remember those comments we were talking about before? When you're doing your further reading, also you can use that to take other notes for yourself that you can use in the future. So you can go back to those same lecture PowerPoint slides, do your further reading, do whatever other kind of reading you want to do, look up any other kind of material, and you can just add those notes to the ones on your existing power slides. So just add some further comments onto your existing lecture notes, and it may really help you in the future, to be honest. Usually for all law seminars, they'll give us a Word document full of questions enabled to answer. And then when we get to the seminar, we're supposed to prep our answers ahead of the seminar. And then during the seminar, we'll like go through them. The tutor or lecturer will ask us what we think about each question, what do we think the answer is. Sometimes you go more in depth about some other things. She may ask you questions. He or she may ask questions that are not on the Word document or the preparatory document. So go over it. I hope that in the seminar you've made notes. Should. So go over those notes. What I usually like to do, I kind of like color code my notes. So the answers that I make before the seminar, I'll have in one color. And then anything in addition or any correct answer, let's say I put an answer that was wrong, any thing that's said in the actual seminar, I will put right under the same question but in a different color. So I'll put like my answers and my initial thoughts in blue, and then whatever we discuss, like other people's opinions or what the lecturer or tutor has said, I'll put those, let's say, in red to say, okay, this is what I thought first, this is what she confirmed, some additional things maybe I didn't think about, and maybe just any other opinions that other classmates may have had that just may, like, I don't know, add to my perspective, or just anything that you can add maybe to an assessment piece that will just give you extra points. Honestly, the more relevant information that you can add, and not just I guess the bare facts that you can add to like assessment pieces, the more points it tends to award you. So just make sure that they are relevant. Don't just like throw broad information out there, because those will not reward you points. One additional method to help you study is obviously practice. Practice, practice, practice. This applies to so many different things in life. In order for you to get anything really right, or for you to become an expert, or for you to just be able to really get better at anything, you need to know how to practice it. And one way you can practice work for your law course is just look up some other essay questions, look up problem questions. Usually in seminar sheets and documents, they will give you problem questions that maybe you guys have not answered during the seminar, or if you have answered them, maybe you have answered them in the way they would want you to in an assessment piece. So you can go ahead and do that. You can access online sites that may have problem questions, do those questions, have them correct them, see what kind of guidance and notes that they give from the answer that you provided to them. A really good site in particular is the Law Express sites. They have like problem questions and essays that you could potentially answer, and then they will go over them and just give you kind of an assessment of how many points you may be awarded for this kind of answer, or how right or wrong it is. So also try that. Try to see if you can find any problem questions with answers already there provided. Try to do the questions before you look at the answers. Same with essays. Try to do some essay questions about your modules or topics, anything you think may actually like pop up in your assessment or an exam. I'm pretty sure that your school may or may not give you access to past papers. Download the past papers, practice them, try them once or twice, like really see what's going on. If you don't have, or if you don't feel comfortable with a tutor, maybe get a friend that you know is really good at the work to look over it. You know, if your friend got all ones last semester, kudos to them, ask them to look over your work. That also brings us to our next point. So, our next point, don't be afraid to practice your work and to talk with your friends about the work and about the notes and about everything in general when it comes to your module. Talk to your friends about the module. Go over what they think about certain questions. Ask to see their answers to the seminars you've already had. If they have a different seminar, tutor, or lecturer, that may also help to see what that tutor or lecturer said that maybe yours didn't. You never know. You never know. Like, each tutor and lecturer is kind of different. They all have different kind of experiences. Some are more experienced than others. That's just really the case. So yeah, ask to see their notes, see their answers. Don't make it a thing where you're not doing the work and you want to copy their notes. Just like exchange notes and see what you all are each additionally thinking and doing, and see how you both kind of process the work and how you guys understand everything. So don't be afraid to talk to your peers. Really try to find as many peers as possible that you can that are willing to go over the work with you and study with you and discuss the work with you. Because sometimes it's also way more motivating to have someone do it alongside you than you just like in the bed by yourself or at your desk trying to study over work. Because there's someone also keeping you accounted to talk to them, versus just you in a room by yourself, and you can take as many breaks as you want to, and leave the work and like kind of come back or whatever. So yeah, do talk to your peers about the work. They don't have to be your close friends. It could just be another person that you know is pretty good with the work, or maybe even another person who needs help. Sometimes teaching helps. So if there's a particular module that you think, okay, I really have a grasp of this, talk to someone who maybe doesn't, see why they've been making certain mistakes. Kind of will help you avoid certain things, I guess you could say. And teaching and like just repeating certain things to people can help you study and remember that, okay, yes, this is the right way to do something. Okay, so I really just want you guys to know, I really want this channel to be very focused and based on universities, centralized videos and just things about school and studying in general. But, due to circumstances right now, I probably won't be able to do too much in that regards. So just to put that out there, that this is supposed to be about uni, but because like right now my university has decided to take spring break early. We were scheduled to take spring break to start on like the 5th of April, but they decided to start it early like last week, and to just like, I guess, make things an easier transition into online classes, since everyone is distancing themselves and everyone is like recommended to stay at home. Yeah, so in order for everybody to just like, I guess, easily facilitate this big change, I just decided to just like go on spring break from now, and then we'll start again on the 20th. So maybe after the 20th I'll be able to pick up more with this process when it comes to like studying school but online. So hopefully this is a good video and that you guys come back for more. Thanks.